And so like I said, thank you guys. I know it's Labor Day, and I sure appreciate you guys taking a few minutes. This call is going to be really good. I'm really excited about this. So it's one that I really encourage you guys to share with your teams. I'll get the recording posted as soon as it uploads. The computer decides how slow it wants to be after it gets done. So I will make sure and get that on there as soon as possible for you. But there was, I had a really good call with somebody on my team last week, and it just kind of brought this to my attention with explaining my story. And then we got to talking about really good things, and this person didn't realize, kind of some of the things that I had went through. So I was going to share a little bit about my story to you guys because it kind of goes in with comparing journeys. And I know that's something that probably all of us have done. And if you're new, there's a possibility you might experience this in your journey. And I also asked a couple others to share kind of some things that they've also went through with, staying positive and not comparing journeys and just different things. So I'm going to get started, kind of tell you a little bit about, maybe this will hopefully help some of you guys and some of you that'll listen to the recording. But if you guys don't know, I've been doing this for 3.5 years. And for 2.5 actually now, well, no, I guess I can say 2 of those. 2 of those I was Senior Ruby. And for 2 years, I hit Senior Ruby, and then boom, it took me that long to get to Emerald. And there is, sometimes I thought, I could have easily quit because there was so many ambassadors that were signing up, and boom, they were getting to Emerald in 6-7 months, less than a year, hitting Diamond in less than a year. And there was some of these people that I knew, and I'm like, wow, that is amazing. It's inspiring because I knew I could keep going and I could do this. But I could have easily went the other way, and I could have easily compared my journey to theirs and wondered, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not doing this? And then just given up. But I chose, because my why was big enough, that was not an option. I was going to keep going forward because this was about me. This was about me and my family and my why. Nobody else except for that, and for my team. But for your own journey to keep you going forward and to reaching your goals, you just always have to remember what your why is. And if it's not big enough to make you keep pushing forward, I always say we need to redo our whys. So for me, there was a lot of pressure. And I will tell you guys, there's probably a lot of you a lot of you know this, but it was being the first Emerald in Arizona. That was a big thing because Plexus is in Arizona. And it was constantly, there was other Senior Rubies within the state. And all of us kind of got tired of it after a while because there was so much pressure on us, and we did really good together at, just kind of really encouraging each other. And hey, if you get it first, that's great. And I mean, there was a lot of pressure there. I told Dusty a few times, I wish I could move to Oklahoma and then I could turn Emerald and nobody would even know because it was just so much. Like Jimmy Lee totally knows all this, and Mandy very well. But it was so much pressure, like, to be that first Emerald in Arizona. And I wanted it more than anything. I wanted it for you guys. I wanted it, just to be able to turn Emerald was my big thing because that was part of my goal and my why. But this pressure thing came where everybody else was just, Jeannie, you have to do it. I mean, there was days when I was overwhelmed with getting messages. When are you turning Emerald? Are you Emerald yet? Are you going to be the first one? It was nonstop, you guys, for 2 years, nonstop. And it got to me a few times, but I was like, nope, that's, because that's just not me. That was not my focus. That was not why I was doing this. I was, a little different than some others that really, really, really wanted it. But instead, I chose to just cheer everybody on and not compare my journey with the other Emeralds that were in other states, that were just flying past me. Because I knew I was not ready. I was not ready. I needed to do more personal growth and development. I needed to become a better leader. It wasn't time. It wasn't time for us, because I know that because I was doing everything that I felt I could to grow my business. I was trying to grow myself daily. I was trying to help my team daily. I was trying to do IPAs as much as I could. And that I knew, if I was in deep down, if I was okay with that and I knew that that's what I was doing daily, then that's okay. I needed to enjoy the journey. And like I've said, oh my gosh, that Senior Ruby check was amazing for 2 years. It was life-changing for our family. So I would never take that back. I would never take that back, because I am so thankful to have had that, to be able to reach the point that I'm at now. And I felt like it just made me appreciate it 10 times more. I don't discount anybody for getting up there really fast without even really doing much research and education themselves on the products and the business and learning. Sometimes it's just getting people under you that take off like crazy and they get you there. That has happened to a lot of jewels, and I'm thankful for them. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. There's been times that I have been around some of them, and the questions that they ask blow my mind that they don't know, because it was just too fast and furious, and they didn't take that time. They didn't have that time for that journey. And so I'm thankful for that, you guys. But my point is along this whole journey of mine of being to that for 2 years, there was many days when I really wanted, I was like, I was so excited. I wanted to hit Emerald to be done with it. I wanted the pressure off really bad of this whole getting to be the first Emerald in Arizona. And because I just wanted to be an Emerald, I just wanted to be Jeannie, the Emerald Ambassador. And, but there was so much time, so much pressure there that I could have really easily compared my journey, and I could have went the opposite way. But when you stay the course, you guys, and you see that vision and that belief, and you have got to block the rest of that out, you can win. You can do it. You can go straight for it. And one of the biggest things is, cheering others on. And Jimmy and Mandy are going to talk a little bit. And I asked both of them to talk about this too, because they're both, pretty much, Mandy's my level 1 and pretty much Jimmy is. And so I talk to them a lot. And so that's why I'm using them as examples. But what I have seen with them is the cheering on of other ambassadors has been incredible. I am so proud of both of them, because that's all I have seen them do is people that are not even on our team, they're cheering them, they're supporting them, that are outranking them. And Mandy was Jimmy Lee's biggest cheerleader when Jimmy Lee was ranking up, and she's at a higher rank than Mandy. But Jimmy was right there in tears with Jimmy Lee, crying when she, hit Senior Ruby. And that is the cool thing, is to be so supportive, of others and of each other. But that is what it's all about. That is what this journey is all about, is not letting those bad voices in that tell you to be otherwise, because it can really hurt your journey and the path that you're going. And so you have to stay that focus and just look for somebody that you can cheer on, because wow, it's the best feeling in the world. And that is what the Senior Rubies and I in the state, we did a lot of that. We were messaging and texting each other a lot, and, cheering each other on and supporting each other. And we went to some events together. That was awesome. We weren't on the same teams, but we helped each other and we encouraged. And that's what One Plexus is about. And so, that's the coolest thing. It's don't let it get to you. When you see somebody else that is just ranking up, like crazy, and maybe ranking above you, be their cheerleader, cheer them on. And because I really believe when you do that, you have good things coming to you. So that's just a little bit, because I'm not going to take up this whole call, and I literally could talk about this for a long time. So I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to have Jimmy Lee go ahead and unmute, and I'm going to have her share a few things she wants to share with you guys on this too. So go ahead, Jimmy Lee.
All right. Thank you. Okay, before I start with what I was going to say, I have to mention something because I want to make sure that I don't forget, because Jeannie just reminded me of this. And my team that was there with me that night can tell you, like, the emotions that this brought up in me. We had done a corporate tour and gone out to dinner afterwards. And during dinner, this voice clip came through from Mandy. And she's my sideline. She didn't have to do this. She just sent me this voice clip to tell me how proud she was of me and how much I inspire her. And she was breaking up and crying in the voice clip, and I was crying and as I was listening to it and responding to her. And that's what One Plexus is about. And that's right there is a big reason why we became power partners, because the way that we support each other. Okay, so I am a senior Ruby ambassador, but I've been with Plexus for almost 3 years, guys. So it's not like I've skyrocketed to the top either. And as I tell you guys about this, I want to kind of tell you about a sideline ambassador that I have that's been a huge support to me. I've been a huge support to her. We started around the same time. So I started in September of 2013, and around November was when I hit silver. And I think that was about the time that Whitney Houston signed up. And then I think she hit silver maybe January, and I was getting close to gold. And then in March, I hit gold, and I think she may have hit gold that same month. And then I think she hit senior gold right after that. And guess what? I got stuck, guys. I got stuck at gold for a year. I did not rank up again to senior gold until the following March. And that whole time, we were still supporting each other. And not just her. I mean, there were other ones. There was Lindy Mason, you know, Mandy. We're all very supportive of each other. There was never like a jealousy or, you know, competition thing who was going to get there faster. But I can tell you guys, that year that I was gold, my income, that kept me going. Because even though I was a gold ambassador, my income was actually really close to what a senior gold was. And prior to this, I wasn't working at all. So this was just extra money for my family and for me to have the ability to take the products as well. But when I finally reached senior gold, I have to tell you guys, out of all the ranks, that was the most exciting one for me, even over senior Ruby, because I worked so hard for so long to get there. It just meant more. So after that, the summertime comes along. I had my goal set. I was going to reach Ruby in June. It didn't happen. Guess what happened? I think Whitney reached Ruby in June. And then she ended up, I think, didn't she double rank like Ruby and senior Ruby? Yeah, it was insane. But guess what? Oh my gosh, I was excited for her, and she's like showing me what can be done. So each month I kept changing my goal. Finally, in November, I hit Ruby. I was very excited about that. And then in January, we all got to watch Jeannie hit Emerald and all rallied around, which also pushed our points up as well. And then I believe the next month after she hit Ruby, Whitney hit Emerald. That girl had blown right past me to Emerald, but I was so excited for her. The night that she hit it, it was the last day of the month. And when you hit the new rank, you have to wait for the system to update, and it's kind of nerve-wracking. Well, hers didn't update till like the middle of the night, so she didn't even know till she got up the next morning that she hit Emerald. I was checking the team pages. Like before I went to bed and first thing in the morning, I was so excited when I saw Dusty's. I was just pulling for her. So that next day I sent her a message. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. And, you know, congratulations and everything. And we're talking, and I look up in the message thread, guys, and I see our last message. And I told her, I'm like, you need to scroll up and read that. Because the last message we had, she had done this really cute video. And it was really, really good. And I had messaged her and told her how awesome it was, and that I was like cracking up through it. My son was cracking up through it. And she told me that what she always tells me. She always tells me, oh my gosh, I almost didn't post it. I almost deleted it, because she was just really self-conscious about stuff like that. And it was way, way out of her comfort zone. Well, she said, I decided I had to post it because I need to get bold if I'm ever going to hit Emerald. And who knew that our next message was going to be her turning Emerald? So that was just really, really exciting. I may have just talked about her more than I talked about myself, but that's part of what this is about, is not letting the jealousy or anything get in the way, not comparing. I just use her as an inspiration, and I can't tell you how many messages I've gotten from her since she's ranked up, wanting me in Hawaii with her, wanting me to have that car, you know, just being there to cheer me on. And that's just what this is about. Now, one other thing that I want to leave you guys with is when the day that I hit Senior Ruby, I was really, really excited, obviously. I mean, I really worked my butt off that month to get there. And my son has a lot of his Uncle Homer in him, where sometimes, like, just an overachiever, like, it's not quite good enough. And he made some remark to me and said, well, what if it took you like 5 years to get to Emerald? And I said, yeah, so what if it did? Look at that salary. And so I asked my husband, I was like, how long have you been working for Game and Fish? I can't remember what he said, 15 years, 18 years, something like that, okay? And I said, do you make what an Emerald makes for Game and Fish? And he's like, no. I said, okay, so would you keep working that job for the next 5 years if they guaranteed that? And he's like, heck yeah. You know, and I've got to tell you guys, at Senior Ruby, I'm making as much as my husband makes that's been working at that job that long. So if I end up in the same boat that Jeannie was in, where it takes me a couple of years to get to Emerald, yeah, I'm going to try to get there as fast as I can. But if that happened, I wouldn't get discouraged and quit, guys, because the money I'm making right now is life-changing, and the lives I'm touching is life-changing. There's no way I would ever quit. Just no way. All right. I think I took enough time.
Perfect, Jimmy. Thank you. Love it.
You're welcome.
Love it. Yep. And she's right. She's totally right. Okay. Mandy, would you like to share with us? I'd love to hear yours. And then I have one more that's going to share too.
Yeah, of course. I've like all of my notes. You guys read my notes, didn't you? Everything. You hit on everything already, but maybe just hearing it from a third person, you know, we've all said the same thing. Maybe that will help. So I'll just tell my story, kind of where I started. It'll be 3 years this December that I joined. And I jumped right into the business and got some ambassadors, got some customers, and everything was just going great. And I had it all mapped out. And I'm like, I'm going to be Senior Ruby by whatever date. I had it all mapped out. And Jeannie's like, yeah, it can. You know, everything was just going great. And then it happened. I kept doing the same things. And it just, you know, you start to get ambassadors and customers, and they're with you a month or 2, 3 months, and they start falling off. So that happened. So it took me, you know, I was silver in less than a month. And then from there, it took me 6 months or so, right about 6 months to go gold. And I was stuck at gold then for a year and 3 months. I was stuck at gold. I was doing the same things. I was working hard, but I wasn't getting anywhere. I didn't feel. But, you know, still looking back, I was still making what a gold makes. I'm making $12,000 a year extra on average. That's huge. So I'm still doing everything, working hard, and finally got a couple people on the team, got some runners, and went up to Senior Gold last November. hit senior gold. And then we did our 90-day challenge. I know some of you did that with us. Started last January with Dusty and Jeannie. And my affirmation every day, I said it, I'm going to be Ruby by April 30th. And gosh darn it, no matter what, I was going to be. And I did. I hit Ruby on April 30th. And now I'm stuck there. That's okay. My next affirmation was going to be Senior Ruby by September 30th. Well, look, oh my gosh, we're already in September. I don't think that's going to happen. You never know. You never know. But I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to give up. There's those up months and there's those down months. But don't give up. Just keep doing it. You got to stay consistent. Don't stop posting because, oh, well, I lost some customers. I'm just going to stop posting. That's not going to get you anywhere. That's going to make you go backwards. So just keep posting, keep pushing, keep helping your downline and supporting your sideline. That is huge. I know they've both said it. Libby. Anyways, I got a message. Your sideline. I look and see who's going to be, when someone ranks up, they, on the team pages, you can see who's going to rank up. I get in contact with that person. Just say, I'm thinking about you. I'm praying for you. I'm cheering for you, whatever it is. And I check in with them every week, 2 weeks, whatever. As it's getting closer more often, and just let them know I'm thinking of you. And can everybody hear me? I just got a message saying that something's wrong with my quality.
Nope, you're good, Mandy.
Was that personal towards me, maybe?
Your quality. Terrible, Mandy. No.
Something's wrong with my quality. But anyway, so cheer on your sideline. We're all in this together, like you said, one plexus. And don't get frustrated. If you're stuck at silver, okay. Without silver, you weren't making that extra $5,000 a year. Gold, $12,000 a year. Senior gold, that's a fantastic place to be stuck at $23,000 a year. That's more than you were before, plexus. And, you're probably still doing what you were before, the same job or whatever. By then, you probably haven't left a job. You know what I mean? So has it been easy? No, it hasn't been easy. But it's been worth it because I've seen changes in myself, changes in my family. I've made some amazing friends that I did not have 2.5, 3 years ago. And right there, that is worth it. If I was stuck at Ruby the rest of my life, I would be a very happy person. Let me just make sure I said everything I wanted to say. Don't compete. Yeah. I see people that started, you can see their ambassador number. If you click on someone's profile, sometimes they have that on there. And maybe they're a diamond and I can see they started after me. Good for them. Let me look at their profile and see what they've been doing. What do they post? What do they do differently? I'm going to learn from them. Never give up and don't compete. And just keep pushing forward. As long as you keep staying consistent, you're not going to go backwards. You may stay at the same place for a long time, but you're not going to go backwards if you keep doing the same thing. You can only go up.
You nailed it, Mandy. Perfect. That was great. Loved it. Yes, absolutely. Find out what you can learn from others. That is the key right there. That is huge. And, staying positive while you're doing that and knowing that you can. And that's the mind frame you need to have going into that. Thank you for that, Mandy. That was so perfect. And Clarissa, I would love for you to share your journey as well with us, please, and anything you have to share about this. You have to unmute. There you go.
There, is that good?
Perfect.
Okay. Well, I was told I only had a couple of minutes, so this morning I wrote down what I needed to say so I don't rabbit trail or anything. But I joined Plexus February 28th, 2014. I went silver in July of that year. And then gold was not until last week. So it was a solid 2 years at silver. And so, the going was slow, and whenever discouragement set in, I had to remind myself that externals are not the problem, because that's kind of the natural place you look at, other things, other influences. But the key is what's happening between my 2 ears. I was sorely in need of a lot of personal development when I signed on, and every day I've been a Plexus ambassador, there have probably been 3, 4, 5 different things that the Lord is speaking to me from videos and listening to other people talk, meeting new friends. It's incredible. And I would say that the 2 conventions were just big cry fests. They're hitting rapid fire there. But every time that I was tempted to blame my lack of progress on elements that I had no control over, the externals, I had to face the fact that I was not doing all that I could do. That kept me in the company, and it kept me on the road. It's exciting to face your fears when you've run from them for so long. And, it's exciting to get things rolling like that. And controlling your thoughts is just a big thing. I think that's a spiritual discipline, controlling your thoughts. It's resisting our natural default mode. Our natural default mode is to get down on ourselves and that kind of thing. We have to resist the temptation to feel sorry for ourselves and resist jealousy as other people are moving up, and resisting arrogancy if others are dropping out, resisting self-doubt, doubting our skills, our intelligence, our social skills, whatever. We have to resist complacency, negativity, and the comparison game that everybody talked about before me. Here I'm at the end of the line, so no more repeating, but it's the only game I know of where every player is guaranteed to lose 100% of the time. That gets you nowhere, and pretty soon, if you dwell on that, you'll just be dropping out. And what's that meme that says, "Remember that girl that quit?" No, I don't either. We're really needing to fight the temptation of all of those previous things I mentioned, and just get out there and cheer other people on. Do it until you feel it. I cheer people on when I don't feel like it, and I do it especially when I don't feel like it, because the feelings follow afterwards. You just got to operate on doing what is right, regardless of anything else. And my experience is that the feelings will come later. The feelings have to be the caboose, and the intentional action has to be the engine. It's important to keep your why before you, like you talked about, Jeannie. You got to revisit your why all the time. And if you can put it up on a poster in your room, or wherever, in your office, or wherever you're most at, that helps you refocus every day. This is why I'm doing it. If God calls you to it, He will lead you through it, because your why is your purpose, and purpose comes from God. It is not something that's fickle and fleeting, with the good days and the bad days. It's always solid, just like He is. So that's all I have.
Awesome. Thanks, Clarissa. You touched on so many great points. So thank you for sharing that, and I really appreciate it. All 3 of you did amazing, and had kind of the same, we all kind of had the same message, the same journeys, but just in different ways. And that's the biggest thing for all of you guys to know is we're all 4 of us that spoke today are different. We all do the same things a lot of times daily to make this business work, but in our own ways too. And that's the big thing that Clarissa and everybody mentioned. But, when somebody ranks up, it should be motivational to you. And it should be where, hey, go and cheer them on, even if you don't want to. But it's such a great feeling, like I said, and maybe be vulnerable and ask them, hey, I am super excited for you. Now, what the heck did you do? I need some tips here, or however you want to say it. But that is the greatest thing. Learn from them. Don't think that because you're not ranking up, that you got to go find, something else. Whatever you're doing is just not working. Sometimes it can work for what you're doing, but just like Clarissa said, and she nailed it too, was in between these 2 ears, your mindset. And that's a big thing. So work on that, you guys. I love that book, What You Say When You Talk to Yourself. If you have not got it, please get it because it's amazing. And, you know, just doing that, just enjoy your journey. The thing is, you guys, we're not a pyramid scheme. So we don't have that big boss up here on top. Every single one of you with our compensation plan can outrank me, no problem. I can outrank Dusty if I wanted. That is the beauty of this, is we all have to remember that, you know, this is our team. And you guys are, yes, you're underneath of me and my team, but it's our team. And so I am above you guys in rank, but that really doesn't mean that much more, other than I'm trying to be a good leader for you guys and tell you guys what, you know, I can bring to you guys to helpfully motivate you and inspire and let you guys know you can do this, and to not compare your journeys and enjoy your journey and to keep pushing forward, because it is about you. It's about you, and you have to believe that, and you have to know that. And so exactly, go recreate those whys tonight if some of you may, or, you know, have been dealing with this, and make them bigger. You know, like Libby mentioned, that why has got to make you cry. And when it does, then you know you probably have the right why in place. And like Clarissa said, put it somewhere where you can see it. If you get those feelings of wanting to compare your journey, you know, look at that why, and that should refocus you back. That is the strongest thing you can do. And for those of you who have teams, that's the biggest thing I recommend doing, to explain to your teams as well. And anytime you have somebody that maybe is down, redirect them to their why. And it's a big thing. I didn't believe it for a long time, you guys. I'm being honest, I didn't. And I told you guys those affirmations, I thought they were baloney, but you know, I'm talking to you guys from experience. So definitely. But anyways, you guys, thank you guys for amazing tips. I just hope this helped some of you guys and some of your team members that can hopefully listen to this and just power up. So, and we will have a team call next Monday. Marcin and Jane are going to host it for you guys. So I'm really excited because I'll be in Hawaii, but they're going to host it. And then you guys probably hopefully saw Dusty and I's post on the team pages. We're going to be doing some fun things and working for you guys while we're there. And thankfully, Serena gave us this amazing idea, and Dusty and I ran with it. So it's going to be really fun. Get your teams involved. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out on my page or her page. It'll start next Monday. And it's going to be really fun. We're going to get some really cool gifts. Her and I have been so excited talking about gifts we're going to get while we're in Hawaii for this to give out to the winners and stuff. And so we just cannot wait to get there and do this for you guys. So anyways, you guys have a wonderful rest of your Labor Day. Thanks again, you guys, for joining tonight. Appreciate all of you. And I will be talking to all of you guys soon. So